I love taking pictures and showing traveling and everything I do, and most importantly, showing all the different football sides and the different people you run into along the road. It's unbelievable.
It is, and every year I run into you here. I've run into you.
This is a tradition,
going to the bathroom at a Giants game, like passing like ships in the night or something like that in some press box. You're doing a lot of media stuff right now. This is, I remember you at the end of your playing career. You were still, and this has been an incredible transition for you. But for New York guys, whether it's Tiki Barber sitting about 20 feet to our left right now, Strahan's obviously running around doing whatever the hell he wants to do at this point. This is a nice thing for a kid to get drafted into the Giants thing, win rings, and make a second career comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the things. You don't go through a practice week and then go into a game on Sundays without a game plan. As a football player and as an athlete, at some point, just like every player, you have an expiration date.
NFL, not for long.
And it's going to come up. And when you have your number called or when you decide to walk away from the game like I did, you better be ready to have something that brings out the passion, brings out your competitiveness, but more than anything, something that you love to do. And I think that's where a lot of guys get in trouble once they retire from the NFL. If they haven't set up themselves up with a game plan, they spend the first year or the next year trying to figure out what they're going to do next. They're spending the same amount of money. That same amount of money that they were making as a player is not coming in, and you start seeing them falling into the pitfalls of bad things that can happen if you're not prepared. And for me, I was an oxymoron. I was a smart jock. When I graduated from Illinois, I had my degree, I had my master's, and I was ready to go. So if anything in the NFL didn't work out, I could rely on my brain and not my body.
Did it work out perfectly for you as an NFL player? I mean, did you everything you expected to accomplish?
I mean, to play 11 seasons and start 164 games for the Giants, which is the most by any offensive lineman in Giants history, win 2 Super Bowls, to accomplish being an all-pro, Pro Bowler, and to win every Giants award possible, I think I'm okay. I think I could walk away from the game with no regret. And the other biggest thing is it's throughout my career, I never had a concussion. I had 3 surgeries, 2 hand and 1 knee, and other than that, I was healthy.
Not everybody gets out like that.
No. So I was very fortunate and blessed. And like you said, I was smart enough to have a game plan that in 2008, after we won our first Super Bowl, I got a long-term extension. I did the NFL broadcast boot camp. And literally from 2008 until the time I retired after the 13th season, I grinded. I did internships. I did any type of media coverage I can do.
You were on Radio Row every year.
I did Radio Row. I did all these things. And when I retired, I'll never forget, I went out to L.A., and I did a week on NFL Network. And people are like, hey, it's great. You just retired. It's nice to have 2 Super Bowl rings and walk right into a job. I'm like, I remember in 08 and 09 sitting in basements, dungy places, doing interviews, just trying to get as many reps to get to this point. So it's unbelievable that people just think that you're just going to get thrown into a position without working. And for me, I am truly blessed to do what I do. I'm in the stadium each and every Sunday. I still am around coaches and players. I'm still grinding, breaking down film. And I still, when that national anthem hits, I got to beat a sweat and my heart's going. And to have that type of energy and to have that experience come back, you can't duplicate it. And for me to be able to do that now as an announcer and to have that and like I had as a player, I mean, there's nothing I'd rather be doing.
When did you first start thinking that maybe you would do broad? I mean, you mentioned 08, going through some of the training, some internships and things of that nature. But was this something you thought of, even when you were growing up? Okay, if football doesn't work out, maybe I'd do this. I mean, you clearly took your education seriously.
Yeah, no, and that's one of the things that I had an opportunity to go to the University of Illinois, a school that my parents wouldn't have been able to afford. And I had great grades in college or in high school, but Illinois is one of the top academic institutions. At my grades, even though they were great, I wouldn't have been able to get into that school. So I had an opportunity to go to college on a scholarship and to earn a degree and play football. I mean, people would give their anything to have that opportunity. And I've always said opportunities are never lost. Someone will take the one that you miss. And if you don't capitalize on it, there's somebody hanging right on your coattails that's going to take that opportunity from you.
We got a football game here. You played
in
this one? Yeah. I like you best because you beat them. We're in Baltimore, AFC Championship game. I found myself rooting for the Steelers. There's something supernatural.
I'm sure
about
that hurt.
Yeah, it did not feel good.
I still think he's crazy for that.
I'm still bathing from it, I think. But that's where the Patriots are. They're easy to dislike because they've cheated, but they're easy to respect because they win.
Yeah.
So somewhere in the middle, we try try to get them beat this week. All of America's trying to figure out a way. Bring Eli Manning in here and slay the Giants. But is Matt Ryan that guy?
We'll see. And it's not just Matt Ryan. It's going to take a team effort. And that's one of the things that people talk about, but they really don't talk about. How much preparation goes into this football game? I mean, when you play the Patriots like we have during the regular season, I mean, you're grinding, breaking down film, knowing your playbook, knowing their personnel, their schemes, and knowing not only that, but the rules of the game in case something happens where you have to adjust on the fly. And that's the only way that you can beat this team is that you're able to react based upon your preparation instead of thinking. Because if you're starting to think and you're a split second late, and that's where the Patriots cause you to make a mistake that will lose the game for you.
The rings alone are awesome for you and your Giants brethren, but is there a little extra satisfaction knowing that this Patriots dynasty has gone on a decade and a half now, that you guys didn't just beat them once, beat them twice?
You know, and I've been asked that, you know, any Patriots fan who see one of my rings or any of them, they're always like, oh, yeah, well, we got 4. And I always say it's the 2 that you don't have that continue to haunt you. And
you always think about your bad beats,
exactly.
Right?
And for them, I mean, you think about this game and what they've been able to accomplish. I mean, Tom Brady's in his 15th season, and this is his 7th Super Bowl. I mean, half of his career he's been here. I mean, that's unreal. Crazy. And for me, even though people say that, I'm actually rooting for the Patriots. Chris Hogan is one of my friends at wide receiver, so I would love for him to win a Super Bowl. And the fact that in a month he has twins coming, I mean, what better way to welcome in your new children than showing them a Super Bowl ring and how hard he worked going through adversity to get to where he is right now.
You're an intelligent, accomplished master's degree former player. I think you're a relatively smart guy. I think John Lynch is a relatively smart guy.
John's great. I know John very well. Obviously, we both call games for Fox.
But are you qualified, or is he qualified to run a football team for 6 years? From the outside looking in, you'd say the 10,000-hour rule, right? Like you said, I prepared in basements. You know, go out and carry a scout clipboard. Go run quality control. Go be a secondary coach for a year. For me, I just see it as, and I think anybody on the outside would see it as a bit of a reach, even though as qualified guys go for football, he knows football, there's no doubt about that.
I mean, talk about a huge step. I mean, going from player to announcer to now a general manager. Number one, you know he's going to have a great support staff and support system around him so that he has the opportunity to continue to learn. But his thing is going to be breaking down players and making sure that they bring the right quality of players to San Francisco. You know, obviously, you think about where they were. You think of Montana, Rice, everybody that they had there to the last time when Colin Kaepernick got them to the Super Bowl against you guys, and you guys won. Since then, I mean, it is rough.
That has been a hard fall.
It is rough watching 49ers
It's amazing how quick
games.
it can switch, right?
And it switched very fast on both sides of the ball. And you know, I know that people want to say, oh, well, Patrick Willis isn't there, Justin Smith isn't there. Well, at some point you need to figure out when you're going to replace them with the right guys, and they have not found a way to do that yet. So I know for those people in the Bay Area that love football, that have been used to championship football, they had to do something because it has been rough watching games.
Well, this is the hardest part. I mean, the Patriots make this look easy, right? I mean, literally.
I mean,
and for the 49ers and the Browns and the Jaguars, it feels like they've fallen and they can't get up.
And you know, it just goes to show you, number one, how hard it is to get here, let alone if you've gotten here once to get back here. I mean, I was listening to Dan Marino. He was 23 years old. He was the youngest quarterback to play in the Super Bowl. He's like, you know, I'm thinking I'm going to get back to 4 or 5 of these. He never sniffed it again. And we're talking about a Hall of Fame quarterback who has numbers outside of this world. But as a team, it is very difficult to bounce back and get back to where you need to go because, like I said, the parity in this league is so close now, and each and every game, regardless of how you want to look at it, it can go either way on a Sunday.
David Deal joining us here. Promote yourself. Promote everything. You're
wearing
X-Tech shoulder pads.
Yes.
You don't wear them anymore, but you
I
recommend them.
If you want me to throw them on and hit you, I can do that.
I'd like to see that on Facebook Live.
No, I'm here on behalf.
You liked me, man.
I'm here on behalf of X-Tech pads. Those are the shoulder pads I wore throughout my entire career. There's an XRD grade military foam pad that's inside of it that is lightweight, it's durable, but the biggest thing that it does is instead of your normal shoulder pad where you get hit and it's a direct blow, this foam that they've got from the military disperses the energy from the hit throughout the entire shoulder pad. Wow. So even though you're getting hit in the shoulder, the energy is going throughout the entire shoulder pad, not just your shoulder.
Like a shock absorber.
Exactly. And they're custom fit. In this Super Bowl, there's going to be over 20 players wearing them. There's over 200 colleges wearing them, Michigan, Ohio State. There's 27 professional teams that wear them. So I'm a firm supporter of this group, and that's why I'm running around with them for X-Tech Pads.
X-Tech Pads on Instagram and as well as on Twitter, and X-Tech Pads.
He's talking
That's
about
hard to say, dude. That is a really tough thing. Rename this thing.
He's talking about the podcast here.
Sounds like something on, the wrong side of the internet. X-Tech.
Yeah, that's right. Pads. Technology, baby.
Good to see you, man.
You as well. Thanks for always having me on.
Thanks for not, putting shoulder pads on and running me over.
Still wanted to see that.
Yeah. It's getting late.
It would have been entertaining.
It would have.
I thought we got along. I thought we were fine. What do I want to know? We are WNST.net AM 1570 and WNST Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore sports.